The original Xbox had an amazing library with some games people still cherish and game on today. The Immortal John Hancock here, and in today's video, I'm going to be continuing my Good and Cheap series and focusing on original Xbox games. If you like what you see, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and click the bell and be notified of upcoming videos as I'm uploading every week. For today's picks, I have decided not to pick any of the 38 backwards compatible games, as those are very affordable and are readily available. I kind of decided to pick different games that aren't necessarily backwards compatible. Some are going to be backwards compatible with the Xbox 360, but I wanted to also pick some oddball ones and some B-tier games that might have been forgotten about that you may need to check out. And the first one is Bloodwake. Bloodwake is if Twisted Metal and Hydro Thunder had a baby. I love this game. It's not perfect. Some people may not like the control, but there's a lot to enjoy here. And so what I like about Bloodwake is there isn't a lot of games like it. So it's kind of taking that vehicle combat and putting it on the water. There's 28 missions. There's tons of unlockable boats. There also is split screen multiplayer. The farther you go in the storyline, the more you can unlock. I liked it. It was fun. It's a game that kind of gets overlooked. You know, it was an early release for the original Xbox, and it kind of got overshadowed by other games. But it was good enough to get a greatest hits release. I do think it's a good game, and definitely it's inexpensive. Check it out. The next one has been surpassed by sequels, but Forza Motorsport is the only Forza on the original Xbox, and there's a ton to enjoy here. It is a sim racer, so if you like those types of games, then you're gonna like this. There are approximately 231 cars to unlock, and you can customize everything about it. If you like that type of racer, then you're gonna love this. And I still think the graphics hold up. It looks great. Also, with many of these games mentioned, there is System Link available. So there is offline multiplayer as well as System Link on many of these games, including Forza Motorsport. And so if you're a fan of the series and haven't played the original, it's kind of cool to go back and check out to see how far the series has evolved. It's one of the best racers on the original Xbox. I'm going to mention a couple racers today. Check it out. I'm a huge fantasy and Lord of the Rings fan, and I think that Lord of the Rings Return of the King is an excellent multi-platform game. I like the Xbox version of it. It has two-player support, and I think it does a better job than the Two Towers, mostly because it's a two-player option game. I think it follows the Two Towers and Return of the King movies. There's lots from those, and if you're a fan of Lord of the Rings and you haven't played this game, it's definitely worth checking out. It has a lot of fan service. There's lots of different characters to play. It has an amazing soundtrack and great voiceovers. And what I love about this is it kind of expands upon the Two Towers and makes it a better game. I do like the Return of the King, and it's definitely an inexpensive multi-platform game. And the Xbox One's pretty decent. MechAssault. MechAssault was fun action, and even though it was heavily influenced by its Xbox Live and its multiplayer, there's still some offline multiplayer you can do with this, and System Link. What I love about that, it has some modes in it that you can play offline still with a friend or friends, and I really enjoy that. But for this, I really like the campaign. I really like the single player experience. It's fun. I feel like I'm moving around in a large mech, and the control is simple. I did like the campaign. I thought it was pretty straightforward. It's nothing spectacular, but I still think it's worth going back and revisiting, and it's very, very inexpensive. There's also a sequel, MechAssault Lone Wolf, that is definitely worth revisiting as well. Why not go back to the original and check out MechAssault? This next game is definitely overlooked. It's kind of a combination of genres. You know, I kind of get the Crazy Taxi vibe playing Midtown Madness 3. It has a lot of different modes in it. While some people may not like the single player experience, I like it, where you can kind of take the role of different jobs. It's called an undercover mode. I had a lot of fun doing that, as well as checkpoint. And while some people would say they wish they would have more locations in this game, I still think it's a fun game, and there's a lot to enjoy here offline still. And so I like the graphics, I like the gameplay. It's not just a straight up racer, it's kind of a free roam with some extra additional features in it. And so another one that has System Link and it has multiplayer options, definitely is a decent game. Do you remember playing this game? I definitely recommend going back and checking it out. This next one was recommended by a fan of the channel, and that's Pirates: The Legend of Black Cat. And what I like about this game is it takes two types of different genres and puts them together, but it works. There's an exploratory part of the game in which you're going on shore and checking out different items and weapons and money, and the combat is fast and furious. So it plays kind of like a free roaming hack and slash. But then there's like a naval combat option in which you're controlling different boats and upgrades and taking out enemies. It is very, very satisfying. The Xbox version does run better than the PlayStation 2 version, and I like this game. This is also a super cheap game, definitely worth checking out. Go track down a copy and play it on your Xbox. You're not going to be disappointed. This personally is probably one of my favorite racers on the original Xbox, and that's Project Gotham Racing 2. And so what I like about it is it combines sim aspects of a racing sim, but then kind of has that arcade feel as well. There's over 100 cars, there's 100 different tracks to play on this, and it uses what's called a kudos system, and the kudos system rewards you for doing all different types of moves. You take that and you're able to upgrade with those rewards, all different types of things and upgrades and cars in the game. I really like that. Plus, the extra bonus I love about this game, now the game is actually fantastic. It's actually got a bonus game in it. If you go in the garage, it's called Geometry Wars. Now I'm a huge Robotron fan, and so the bonus game in this is something I played just as much as the actual game. So Geometry Wars is a game you can play in the garage of this. Awesome game, I totally recommend checking it out. And you know, you might be a fan of Forza Motorsport or this, but you know, either one is a great pick. There's also Burnout 3, which is a huge, amazing game. That's an honorable mention to that. When it comes to fighting, I love the Soulcalibur series, and Soulcalibur 2 on the original Xbox is amazing, and it actually is 720p, which was a feat back in the day, you know, and it still holds up. I still think it's an awesome game. It has a mission mode in it, which is a lot of fun to go through and unlock different weapons. I love that about it. The graphics look amazing. Now, Microsoft's character that they got, every console got their own bonus character as an exclusive. Microsoft's was Spawn. You know, I don't think it's as good as Link, but what I do like about it, I was a fan of the Spawn comic book series back in the day. I think it controls well. I don't know if it entirely fits with the rest of the game, but it's kind of cool to play. I do like this fighting game. It is close to the original, but offers some additional graphic upgrades, and I think it's a fun, easy fighter to get into and difficult to master. This is a great pick. This next game is a game that not everybody's gonna totally enjoy, but it was an Xbox exclusive, and that's Tecmo Classic Arcade. Now this is a compilation of games that kind of gets overlooked. It came out at kind of a high price point, but now it's super cheap. This compilation has some of my favorite Tecmo games on it. It is missing Ninja Gaiden. I am disappointed it doesn't have that, but it includes Bomb Jack, Tecmo Bowl, Rygar, and Salmon's Key. Some other shooters on here as well. I think this is a decent package, and it's super affordable now. So why not? Go back and check out an Xbox exclusive that gets overlooked. It does have some additional artwork that you can unlock. Nothing special, but the game choices here are fairly decent, especially for the affordable price you can get it now. This last one is chosen for many reasons, and I'm going to pick Time Splitters 2. And what I love about Time Splitters 2 is it's a great game. You can play this multiplayer, you can play this co-op, you can create your own maps. It has offline multiplayer support, it has bots, it has system link. There is so much to enjoy here. If you like GoldenEye, people who worked on that formed this company that made this game, and it takes several nods from GoldenEye, especially that first levels in Siberia. And what I like about it is if you're a fan of that series, then you're gonna feel right at home with this. Time Splitters 2 is a cult classic, and I think it still holds up very well. So those are my picks for the original Xbox. What are yours? I know that some people out there have their own favorites. I want to hear below, as I might do a future video continuing this good and cheap series for the original Xbox. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you like what you see, and click the bell as I'm uploading videos every week. Thank you so much for the ongoing support. I'm getting close to 100,000 subs and really excited about moving forward and sharing many other good and cheap games with you. having a lot of fun with this series. Thank you so much. This is the Immortal John Hancock, and you take care.